Once considered a pivotal figure in Hollywood, The Rock has fallen on some hard times. As if it weren't enough that Dwayne Johnson's passion project was scrapped, he has suffered another embarrassing blow courtesy of Black Adam. We'll share every humiliating detail with you. And with James Gunn saying there's no room for Black Adam in the first chapter of the new DCU, could Dwayne Johnson wrestle his way into the MCU? Secret meetings, tequila bars, and a Black Adam vs. Superman cameo later. Dwayne Johnson's DC power bid has gone kaboom. Out of chaos comes order. And that will certainly be the hope for 2023 when it comes to the DC Extended Universe, which endured the most tumultuous year for any studio division in 2022. In a year of chaos for Hollywood, not even The Flash could escape. The release of The Flash teetered as its star Ezra Miller was arrested multiple times and had several meltdowns. Closely guarded details of Aquaman deal points were laid bare in the Johnny Depp-Amber Heard defamation trial, and the $78 million Batgirl movie was shelved permanently after turning out to be a write-off. James Gunn and Peter Safran were given the keys to the DC kingdom, but nothing was more dramatic than Henry Cavill, who returned briefly as Superman in a Black Adam cameo in October, only to lose the gig 2 months later. That is, until Dwayne Johnson's turmoil. In 2022, the superstar found himself on the outs with DC Studios, and his burgeoning Black Adam franchise was cut down. As 2023 begins, DC bosses Gunn and Safran continue to sift through the rubble of their cinematic universe and will soon reveal their 3-year interconnected vision for the MCU, which won't include Cavill's Superman or Wonder Woman. But things could have gone in an alternative direction. Behind the scenes, a different group, including Johnson, made a play for control of DC's future plans. More on that later in the video. Under the tenure of DC Studios' new bosses, James Gunn and Peter Safran, Johnson was told Black Adam movies would not be moving ahead. Never say never again, but for now, that's the end of Johnson's forbidding antihero. An embarrassing defeat for an actor whose name is often box office gold and whose rising popularity with audiences spurred his parallel rise within the industry. For 15 years, Johnson has been developing Black Adam. He even convinced Warner Brothers executives to bring back his friend Henry Cavill as Superman, all before being dumped by Gunn and Safran. And it's a long way from Johnson's vision earlier this year of Black Adam and Superman's prospects. Variety's scathing report shared the behind-the-scenes drama and meetings that ultimately sank Johnson's DC ambitions. The trade publication's report is another blow to Johnson, whose easygoing public image has recently received a few dents. The report details that in April, Johnson tried to pitch a sprawling plan directly to Warner Brothers Discovery CEO David Zaslav, but that didn't sit well with many at the studio. Not long after the Warner Brothers Discovery merger closed, Dwayne Johnson pitched CEO David Zaslav on a multi-year plan for Black Adam and a Cavill-led Superman that would see the two characters cross paths, setting up a Superman vs. Black Adam showdown, sources say. Black Adam producers Hiram Garcia, Johnson's former brother-in-law, and Beau Flynn were also part of the brain trust looking to take DC down a new path. Although the move occurred amid a power vacuum created by Warner Brothers film chief Toby Emmerich and former DC head Walter Hamada prepared to exit, it ruffled feathers internally, with a source saying Dwayne went around everyone, which didn't sit well. Eventually, new Warner Brothers co-heads of film Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi approved a Cavill cameo in Black Adam, despite Emmerich's call to find another actor to don the red cape. But Black Adam, which bowed in October, fizzled with a worldwide haul of $391 million against a $195 million budget, plus $40 million in reshoots, scuttling any plans for more outings for the lightning bolt-wielding anti-hero and officially ending the Cavill Superman era. Who would have thought that Black Adam would flop upon initial release after all the hype surrounding the most talked about DC superhero flick for almost the last 10 years? Many would agree that this was an unlikely turn of events for The Rock, but it doesn't stop there. Cavill parted with his manager, Johnson's ex-wife, Dani Garcia, this year, but the departure was unrelated to the DC drama, and she remains a strategic advisor to the actor. Meanwhile, the Johnson-Warner Brothers relationship had soured after Cavill pushed for a producing credit on the animated film DC League of Super Pets, which opened in July but did little to promote it. Next came the tequila-fueled drama. Johnson insisted on a tequila bar with his Terramana brand at the New York premiere of Black Adam, despite the film being rated PG-13. Scorned by the film studio he was working with for so long, or just shopping around for similar opportunities given his newly crowned experience in the comic book adaptation genre, rumors have been swirling that the former 10-time professional wrestling champion is hopping across to Marvel Studios. Where could Dwayne Johnson fit inside the MCU? MCU. Keep watching as we look at some of the roles he could step into. Could Johnson already be in talks with MCU executives to play an undisclosed role in upcoming MCU projects? We don't see why not, and fans are excited to hear that the famed actor might return to the superhero world. Let's look at some of the roles he could play. Theories are flying around that a significant X-Men villain will be offered to Dwayne Johnson if he does decide to jump ship to Marvel's MCU playground. First premiering in the 6th X-Men film, Apocalypse saw the big screen villainous debut of the titular character, who was once considered one of the strongest mutants in Marvel Comics. While hardcore comic fans will say his character arc certainly didn't play out that way in the 2016 theatrical release, there are many possibilities for where he could go from here. Apocalypse has interacted with the Avengers, the High Evolutionary, and even Dracula in print. Oscar Isaac did great as the character in the film X-Men Apocalypse, but Dwayne Johnson could give a refreshing take on the role that could make it more memorable. Rumor has it that Chris Hemsworth is stepping down from the role of Thor in the MCU. Teases made in the latest installment of the Thor franchise may mean a different character will soon helm the mythical realm of the MCU. Could Johnson pick up this role? If rumors are true that Dwayne Johnson is entering the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Ares, the god of war, who has not appeared on screen yet, may soon be making his debut. Johnson is decidedly at his best when he's playing the role of a and there are few bigger than Ares. A look at the character of Ares in the Marvel Comics universe shows that he is currently part of the Dark Avengers, a militarized team of names like Scar and US Agent. Having Tom Hiddleston and Dwayne Johnson in the same movie would certainly be something comic book fans cannot wait for. If this is a role you can see Johnson playing, hit that like button. Another Marvel character we haven't seen in a long time is the Thing from the Fantastic Four. Does The Rock know it's clobbering time? In the Rise of the Silver Surfer sequel, the strongest member of the superhuman team packs a pummeling punch with an enemy that stands in his way, and we could see Johnson doing just that. Dwayne Johnson's unique blend of humor and toughness is the perfect personality for a character who is both kind of goofy, but at times also determined. He'd be an epic fit. All fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe should hope that he's the one who plays a role in the 2025 Fantastic Four movie. How about Johnson as Kraven the Hunter? He has the physique and acting chops to bring the character to life. If Kraven the Hunter is indeed Spider-Man 3's lead villain, Marvel Studios has many directions it could take him. One possibility would be to make him a normal man who is also a formidable hunter, but if they choose this path, why not hire Johnson? After all, would you want him attempting to track you down? He could be a total beast as Kraven, and the actor's sheer charisma ensures that his personality more than makes up for the fact that he doesn't possess any fancy superpowers. And yes, indeed, Johnson has already played Hercules in a film, but why couldn't he take on that role in the MCU? Rumor has it that this is a character Marvel Studios plans for, and Johnson could do this different version of the Greek legend justice. He was, after all, the best part of Brett Ratner's otherwise terrible movie. Hercules is a fun character with a history with everyone from Thor to the Avengers. Exploring that in the MCU would be a must, but it will be throwing Johnson into the mix, which could make this fan favorite an absolute must-see on the silver screen. And here's our last suggestion: Luke Cage. Johnson has expressed interest in playing Luke Cage on several occasions, but with Mike Colter's time as Power Man likely ending, why not turn to this A-list actor to offer a new take? He's expressed interest in playing the character, and Luke appeared to be his top choice for a superhero movie role. In the comics, we've seen Power Man lead the Avengers. With a big name like Johnson attached to the project, this could happen again. It would be fun to see Johnson play a version of the character that resembles the one written by Brian Michael Bendis in New Avengers. Suppose the rumors are true about Dwayne Johnson grabbing a deal with Marvel Studios to be in a major character role for an upcoming movie. In that case, audiences will surely be excited about this new chapter in the MCU. Do you smell what The Rock is cooking? Whatever's around the corner for Johnson, whether tequila bars or an MCU lead role, fans are rooting for it to be all positive, as despite his knockbacks, he's still loved by millions. Subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.